If a woman wants to leave you, she never starts with the door. She starts with your mind. She starts with your confidence, your stability, your masculinity, and she chips away at them one sentence at a time. Long before she packs her bags, long before she stops touching you, long before she pulls away physically, there are words she uses that most men ignore. Until it's already too late. The truth is simple but brutal. A woman's mouth reveals her exit plan long before her feet ever move. She doesn't leave you when she stops loving you. She leaves you the moment she stops respecting you. And respect dies quietly, like a flame running out of oxygen. It doesn't explode. It fades. It fades in the tone of her voice. It fades in the way she talks to you. It fades in the small comments that sound harmless but carry the weight of someone who's already halfway gone. Most men stay blind because they're listening to what she says, not what she means. And that's why so many men stay in dying relationships far longer than they should. Because they don't understand that women never announce their emotional exit. They signal it. And those signals come in the form of phrases that pierce deeper than any argument. The first sign comes disguised as disappointment, but in reality it's a declaration that she no longer sees you as the man she once admired. It happens the moment she begins comparing you to other men. Not because she wants to help you improve, but because she wants you to feel inadequate. She wants you to feel like you're failing in places she stopped appreciating long ago. Other men treat their women better. Why can't you be more like him? Do you see how he provides for his girlfriend? Every one of these sentences is a red flag wrapped in fake concern. A woman in love compliments. A woman who's losing interest compares. Comparison is the language of emotional detachment. It means she has already shifted her admiration onto someone else, even if only in her imagination. She isn't trying to motivate you. She's trying to justify her dissatisfaction. And once she begins planting these seeds, she's not waiting for you to change. She's preparing the story she'll tell herself when she leaves. Men make the fatal mistake of trying to prove themselves, trying to compete for their own woman, trying to show her that they can be as good as other men. But brother, the moment you start competing for validation inside your own relationship, you've already surrendered your masculinity. A woman who respects you would never put you in that position. A woman who truly loves you will push you to rise while still reminding you that you're enough. But the woman who compares you? She is already emotionally investing in someone else, even if she hasn't met him yet. And once she succeeds in shaking your self-respect, she moves to the next stage, testing how much control she has over you. And this is where the second sign appears. It always sounds like love. It always sounds like vulnerability. But at its core, it is manipulation wearing perfume. If you love me, do this. 7 words that have broken more men than heartbreak ever did. It's emotional blackmail disguised as affection, a trap so subtle most men walk straight into it believing they're doing the right thing. She's not asking. She's measuring. She wants to know how much you're willing to sacrifice to keep her happy. How far she can push you. How much leverage she has. A weak man hears this and thinks she's insecure, that she just needs reassurance, that proving himself is the noble thing to do. But a strong man hears it and immediately recognizes the shift, because love that demands proof is not love. It's leverage. Once you fall for that line, the game changes. Every request becomes a test. Every test becomes a demand. Every demand becomes a rule. And suddenly you're performing like an obedient man trying to keep a woman who's losing interest anyway. You can give her everything. You can sacrifice your peace, your boundaries, your time, and she will still leave when she finds someone she doesn't have to manipulate for affection. A woman who truly loves you never weaponizes love. She doesn't need to make you jump through hoops. She doesn't ask you to prove your heart. She already sees it. She already feels it. She already values it. But the woman using the "if you love me" line isn't looking for connection. She's looking for control. And the more you give, the more she'll take. Because she never wanted you. She wanted how far you were willing to bend. And brother, once you start bending for the wrong woman, you eventually break. Not because she hurt you, but because you abandoned yourself trying to satisfy someone who was never planning to stay. These are only the first 2 signals. The opening cracks in a foundation she's preparing to walk away from. What comes next is even darker, even subtler, even more dangerous. Because once she knows she can shake your confidence and manipulate your loyalty, she moves into the phase that destroys a man's spirit completely. What comes next is where most men start breaking without even realizing it. Because these next phrases don't just show that she's pulling away. They show that she's already rewriting the past to justify the future she's planning without you. After she compares you to other men, after she tests you with emotional blackmail, she shifts into something colder, sharper, and far more painful. She stops appreciating what you give and begins acting like you have given nothing at all. And she reveals this through one of the most soul-crushing lines a man can hear. "What have you done for me since we started?" The moment she says this, she isn't asking a question. She's erasing the entire history of the relationship. She's taking every sacrifice you made, every hour you invested, every effort you showed, and sweeping it all off the table like it meant nothing. A woman who truly loves you remembers the good. She sees the intention behind imperfect actions. She notices your effort even when the result isn't perfect. Love magnifies gratitude. But the woman who says, "What have you done for me?" isn't looking for clarity. She's looking for ammunition. She wants to paint you as the failing one so she can play the victim, so she can justify the distance she's already creating, so she can make you feel like you owe her more, even when you've already given more than you should have. This is the moment a man starts losing himself. He begins trying harder, working harder, giving more, fixing everything he thinks she's unhappy about. He starts chasing that tiny chance that maybe if he does enough, she'll finally see him, appreciate him, choose him. But here's the brutal truth. The woman who's keeping score has already decided she's losing interest. And the woman who frames your effort as never enough will always need more than you can give. Not because you're lacking, but because her heart isn't with you anymore. A woman who loves you counts your blessings. A woman who's leaving counts your flaws. And by the time she asks this question, she's rewriting the entire relationship in her mind. Not to remember it, but to escape it. But the trap isn't done. Because once she drains your sense of worth, once she convinces you that you're doing nothing, once she makes you feel like the problem, she moves into the most dangerous stage of all. Not the stage where she leaves. The stage where she keeps you, but only as an option. And that's where the next sentence appears. One that sounds harmless. One that sounds gentle. One that sounds like patience, but is actually the beginning of emotional limbo. "Give me time to know you first." Men hear this and think, she just wants to move slow. She's cautious. She's being respectful. She wants to understand me. But if a woman truly feels something real for you, she doesn't need time to know if she wants you. She already knows. Women feel emotional truth instantly. Their intuition reads the connection long before logic catches up. When she says, "Give me time," she's not trying to build something with you. She's trying to keep you around while she evaluates her options. You're not a priority. You're a placeholder. You're the emotional safety net she doesn't want to lose, while she waits to see if someone she really wants appears. This is the most dangerous position a man can be in. Being close enough to give her comfort, but not close enough to earn commitment. Keeps you warm. She keeps you available. She keeps you hopeful. But she never gives you clarity. Because clarity would force her to be honest. And honesty would reveal that she's unsure about you. You start investing more. You start giving more. You start waiting. Waiting for her to choose you. Waiting for her to be ready. Waiting for the day she finally sees your value. But women who want you don't delay connection. They deepen it. They don't ask for time. They make time. They don't create distance. They close it. So when she tells you she needs time to know you, she's not building. She's stalling. She doesn't want to lose you, but she doesn't want to choose you either. And many men waste months, even years, in this emotional limbo, believing patience is noble, believing effort will change her mind, believing loyalty will earn her love. But brother, you can't convince a woman into wanting you. She either feels it or she doesn't. And when she doesn't, she buys time. Time to decide. Time to compare. Time to keep you close enough to use, but far enough not to commit. These are the middle signs. The ones that trap men the longest. The ones that drain their confidence and energy piece by piece. But what comes next is far worse. Because in the final stage, she doesn't just distance herself or manipulate you. She begins rewriting her past, rebuilding her future, and positioning you as the temporary man she's preparing to replace. And now we enter the final stage, the phase most men never recover from, because by the time these last two sentences come out of her mouth, she's not pulling away anymore, she's already gone. She's just waiting for the right moment to detach without feeling guilty. A woman never leaves suddenly. She leaves in pieces, one emotional withdrawal at a time, until the day she looks at you and realizes there's nothing left inside her to stay for. It begins slowly, always during conflict, always in a moment where she wants power more than peace. She stops arguing to understand and starts arguing to conquer. And then she drops a line so disrespectful, so poisonous, that it reveals her true intentions instantly, not to fix the relationship, but to remind you that she could replace you at any moment. My ex wasn't that bad like you. A man feels this line in his bones. It doesn't hurt because of the ex, it hurts because she is using another man to cut into your worth. This isn't communication. This is humiliation dressed up as honesty. When a woman brings her ex into your relationship, she isn't reminiscing. She's attacking. She's trying to hurt your pride so she can gain control. She wants to throw your emotional balance off. She wants you insecure, defensive, desperate to prove you're better. But here's the truth most men refuse to accept. A woman who has truly healed from her past would never weaponize it. She would never compare you to someone she left behind. She would never diminish you just to win a moment of emotional leverage. A comparison is not a comment. It is a confession. A confession that she has lost respect. A confession that she no longer sees you as her man. A confession that her heart is already looking backward or sideways. A confession that she wants you to feel small because it makes her feel powerful. And once she crosses that line, the relationship is already contaminated. You can try to fix things. You can try to rebuild trust. You can try to stay calm, stay patient, stay strong. But the truth is, once disrespect enters a woman's mouth, it never leaves her heart. But the final phrase, the last sign, the one that reveals everything with terrifying clarity, is the sentence men hear right before they get their heart shattered. I'm not ready for something serious. Men believe this line because it sounds gentle, polite, even vulnerable. But it isn't. It's the softest, cleanest way a woman can tell you the truth without destroying you. She's not unsure about relationships. She's unsure about you. She's not afraid of commitment. She's afraid of committing to you. She's not confused about what she wants. She just doesn't want you enough to risk anything for it. And the reason this line is so deadly is because she wants to keep the benefits of having you, the attention, the care, the energy, without giving you anything real in return. She wants closeness without responsibility. She wants your devotion without her own. She wants to keep you warm while she scans the horizon for someone she actually feels something for. This sentence isn't hesitation. It's rejection dressed as patience. And the proof is simple. The same woman who says, "I'm not ready for something serious," will meet another man and suddenly be ready 2 weeks later. For him, she won't need time. She won't need space. She won't need clarity. Desire is clarity. So when she tells you she's not ready for something serious, she is telling you, as softly as she can, "You're good, but not good enough for me to choose." A weaker man waits. A weaker man tries harder. A weaker man hopes she'll one day wake up and realize he was the right one all along. But a high-value man knows that a woman who hesitates is a woman whose heart is elsewhere. He knows that love is not built on confusion. He knows that when a woman truly wants you, she doesn't delay. She commits with both fear and excitement. She says, "I don't know where this is going, but I'm willing to find out with you." That's real. That's honest. That's love. But the woman who says she's not ready isn't looking for a relationship. She's looking for a cushion, a placeholder, a backup plan, a comfort zone. And the longer you stay, the more you lose yourself. So when she speaks those words, don't beg. Don't argue. Don't negotiate. Don't wait. Just walk. Walk with your dignity. Walk with your self-respect. Walk with the knowledge that a woman unsure about you today will never love you fully tomorrow. Because a woman's words are not random. They are emotional verdicts. And once she says these 6 things, she's telling you the truth you were too loyal to see. She didn't leave suddenly. She left slowly. And now she's finally letting you know.